Today, we're diving into the longest siege in history, the Siege of Ceuta. Lasting over 33 years from 1694 to 1727. This monumental conflict saw the forces of Sultan Moulay Ismael of Morocco and the Spanish defenders of Ceuta locked in relentless battle. In this video, we'll cover the key events, major battles, and pivotal moments that defined this extraordinary siege. From the initial Moroccan assaults to the steadfast Spanish defenses and the eventual conclusion. Join us as we uncover the fascinating history of the Siege of Ceuta. 1694 siege begins. In the year 1694, Sultan Moulay Ismael of Morocco initiated the Siege of Ceuta, a significant move in the ongoing conflict between Morocco and Spain. The strategic importance of Ceuta, a Spanish-held city on the North African coast, made it a coveted prize. For Moulay Ismael, capturing Ceuta was not only a matter of territorial expansion, but also a means to consolidate his power and assert Moroccan dominance in the region. The decision to lay siege to this fortified enclave was driven by these ambitions and set the stage for one of the longest sieges in history. As the siege began, Moroccan forces started constructing siege lines around Ceuta. These initial efforts were aimed at encircling the city and cutting off its supply routes. The construction of these lines involved building trenches, fortifications, and artillery positions. The Moroccan troops worked tirelessly to establish these positions, signaling their determination to isolate Ceuta and force its surrender. The construction of these siege lines marked the beginning of a protracted and grueling conflict. The early stages of the siege saw a series of skirmishes as Moroccan troops probed the defenses of Ceuta. These skirmishes were crucial in assessing the strength and preparedness of the Spanish garrison. The Moroccan forces sought to identify weak points in the city's defenses, hoping to exploit them in future assaults. These initial engagements were characterized by swift and strategic maneuvers, with both sides testing each other's capabilities. The skirmishes were a prelude to the larger and more intense battles that would follow. By April 1694, the Moroccans had intensified their efforts, constructing more extensive siege works, including deeper trenches and more formidable artillery positions. These developments marked a significant escalation in the siege, as the Moroccan forces sought to bring heavier firepower to bear on Ceuta's defenses. The construction of these works required considerable resources and manpower, reflecting the high stakes of the conflict. The Moroccan determination to capture Ceuta was evident in the scale and intensity of their preparations. Despite the determined efforts of the Moroccan forces, the Spanish defenders of Ceuta remained resolute. The initial months of the siege set the tone for the long and brutal struggle that lay ahead. The Spanish garrison, aware of the strategic importance of Ceuta, was committed to holding the city at all costs. Both sides braced for a conflict that would test their endurance, resources, and resolve. As the year 1694 drew to a close, it was clear that the siege of Ceuta was only just beginning, with neither side willing to concede defeat. March 1694 siege lines established. In March of 1694, the Moroccan forces made significant progress in their efforts to besiege Ceuta. This month marked the establishment of more defined and fortified siege lines around the city. The construction of these lines was a critical step in the Moroccan strategy to encircle and isolate Ceuta, cutting off its supply routes and weakening its defenses. The siege lines represented the physical manifestation of the Moroccan commitment to capturing the city. The establishment of siege lines involved the creation of trenches and fortifications that would serve as the base for future assaults on the city. Moroccan engineers and laborers worked tirelessly to build these structures, which were designed to provide cover and strategic advantage to the besieging forces. The trenches allowed the Moroccan troops to move closer to the city walls, while minimizing their exposure to Spanish artillery and gunfire. The fortifications provided defensive positions from which the Moroccans could launch their attacks. During this time, the Moroccan forces also intensified their reconnaissance efforts, gathering intelligence on the Spanish fortifications and troop movements. This information was crucial for planning future attacks and identifying potential weak points in Ceuta's defenses. The Moroccans aimed to create a comprehensive siege strategy that would maximize their chances of success, while minimizing their own casualties. The establishment of the siege lines was a critical component of this strategy. As the siege lines were being established, the Moroccan forces continued to engage in skirmishes with the Spanish defenders. These skirmishes served to test the defenses of Ceuta and keep the Spanish garrison on high alert. The continuous pressure applied by the Moroccan troops aimed to wear down the resolve of the Spanish defenders and create opportunities for more significant assaults in the future. The skirmishes were also a way for the Moroccan forces to maintain momentum and keep their troops engaged and motivated. The progress made in March 1694 represented a crucial phase in the siege of Ceuta. The establishment of well-fortified siege lines demonstrated the Moroccan commitment to the campaign and their determination to capture the city. As the siege progressed, both sides prepared for the long and arduous struggle that lay ahead, knowing that the outcome of this conflict would have significant implications for the power dynamics in the region. The establishment of the siege lines set the stage for the intense and protracted conflict that would follow. April 1694 initial skirmishes. In April 1694, the siege of Ceuta saw its first significant skirmishes. Moroccan forces, eager to test the Spanish defenses, launched a series of probing attacks. These skirmishes were critical for the Moroccans to gather intelligence and assess the readiness of the Spanish garrison. The initial engagements were characterized by swift and strategic maneuvers, aiming to identify weak points in Ceuta's fortifications. The Moroccan troops employed hit-and-run tactics, launching sudden assaults and then quickly retreating before the Spanish could mount a full-scale response. These tactics aimed to harass and demoralize the defenders, keeping them on constant alert. The skirmishes also served to keep the Spanish forces contained within their walls, reducing their ability to launch counterattacks. The Moroccans hoped that these skirmishes would create openings for future, larger assaults. During these early skirmishes, the Spanish defenders demonstrated their resilience and preparedness. Despite the surprise nature of the attacks, they managed to repel the Moroccan forces effectively. The Spanish garrison, well aware of the strategic importance of Ceuta, had fortified their positions and were determined to hold the city at all costs. Their ability to fend off these initial attacks boosted their morale and set a precedent for the long siege ahead. The skirmishes of April 1694 also highlighted the determination of the Moroccan forces. Despite facing a well-fortified and well-supplied enemy, the Moroccans continued to press their attacks, adapting their strategies and learning from each engagement. This period of intense but small-scale fighting set the stage for the prolonged and bloody conflict that would follow. The skirmishes were a crucial part of the Moroccan strategy to weaken the Spanish defenses over time. As April came to a close, both sides had gained a clearer understanding of their opponent's strengths and weaknesses. The Moroccan forces prepared to escalate their efforts, while the Spanish garrison reinforced their defenses in anticipation of more significant assaults. The siege of Ceuta was now fully underway, with both sides bracing for the extended struggle that lay ahead. The initial skirmishes had set the tone for the conflict, demonstrating the resolve and determination of both the besiegers and the defenders. June 1694 Moroccan siege works. By June of 1694, the Moroccan forces had significantly intensified their siege operations around Ceuta. The construction of siege works, including extensive trenches and artillery positions, marked a new phase in the conflict. These siege works were designed to bring the full might of Moroccan firepower to bear on the city's defenses, aiming to breach the formidable walls of Ceuta. The Moroccan engineers played a crucial role in this phase, meticulously planning and constructing the siege works. Trenches were dug to provide cover for the advancing troops, while artillery positions were established to bombard the Spanish fortifications. The construction of these works required considerable resources and manpower, reflecting the Moroccan commitment to capturing Ceuta. The siege works were a testament to the strategic planning and determination of the Moroccan forces. The Spanish defenders, recognizing the threat posed by these siege works, launched several sorties to disrupt the Moroccan efforts. These counterattacks aimed to destroy the siege works and inflict casualties on the besieging forces. Despite their efforts, the Moroccans continued to make progress, gradually tightening the noose around Ceuta. The siege works provided the Moroccan troops with a significant tactical advantage, allowing them to conduct sustained and focused attacks on the city's defenses. the Moroccan artillery bombardments began to take a toll on Ceuta's defenses. The relentless shelling damaged several sections of the city's walls, forcing the Spanish to hastily repair and reinforce their fortifications. The constant barrage also had a psychological impact on the defenders, testing their resolve and endurance. The siege works allowed the Moroccan forces to maintain continuous pressure on the Spanish garrison, aiming to weaken their defenses over time. As the siege works neared completion, the stage was set for a major Moroccan assault on Ceuta. The construction of these formidable structures demonstrated the Moroccan determination to capture the city at all costs. Both sides prepared for the next phase of the siege, knowing that the outcome of this conflict would have far-reaching consequences for the region. The siege works of June 1694 were a critical component of the Moroccan strategy, providing the foundation for future assaults on the city. October 1694 First major assault. In October of 1694, the Moroccan forces launched their first major assault on the walls of Ceuta. This attack was a culmination of months of preparation, including the construction of extensive siege works and the positioning of artillery. The Moroccan troops, now well entrenched and equipped, aimed to breach the city's defenses and force its surrender. The assault was a significant escalation in the siege, marking one of the most intense engagements of the conflict. The assault began with a massive artillery barrage, designed to weaken the Spanish fortifications and create openings for the infantry to exploit. The relentless shelling caused significant damage to several sections of the walls, creating breaches that the Moroccan troops quickly moved to exploit. The intensity of the bombardment signaled the seriousness of the Moroccan efforts to capture Ceuta. The Moroccan artillery played a crucial role in this phase, providing the necessary firepower to support the infantry assault. Following the artillery barrage, Moroccan infantry launched a coordinated assault on the breached sections of the walls. The attackers faced fierce resistance from the Spanish defenders, who were determined to hold their ground. The battle that ensued was brutal, with hand-to-hand combat taking place in the narrow breaches and along the ramparts. The Spanish garrison, aware of the high stakes, fought with exceptional bravery and resolve, managing to hold the line against the Moroccan onslaught. Despite the ferocity of the Moroccan assault, the Spanish defenders managed to repel the attackers. The well-fortified positions and the determination of the garrison played a crucial role in holding the line. The Spanish troops, fighting for their survival, pushed back the Moroccan forces and sealed the breaches. The failure of the first major assault was a significant setback for the Moroccan forces, forcing them to reassess their strategies and prepare for future attacks. The failure of the first major assault marked a significant moment in the siege of Ceuta. It demonstrated the formidable nature of the Spanish defenses and the challenges that the Moroccan forces would face in their efforts to capture the city. Despite the setback, the Moroccans remained committed to their objective, preparing for future assaults and continuing to tighten their grip around Ceuta. The first major assault of October 1694 set the stage for the prolonged and intense conflict that would follow. 1695 Spanish reinforcements arrive. In the year 1695, the Spanish response to the ongoing siege intensified. Recognizing the strategic importance of Ceuta and the determination of the Moroccan forces, Spain decided to send significant reinforcements to bolster the city's defenses. These reinforcements were crucial in ensuring that the garrison could withstand the prolonged siege and continue to resist Moroccan assaults. The arrival of additional troops and supplies marked a significant moment in the siege, enhancing the Spanish garrison's capabilities. The arrival of Spanish reinforcements was a complex and dangerous operation. Moroccan forces had established a formidable blockade around Ceuta, aiming to cut off all land and sea supply routes. Despite these challenges, the Spanish managed to break through the blockade, delivering much-needed troops, weapons, and supplies to the besieged city. This successful resupply operation was a significant morale boost for the defenders and demonstrated Spain's commitment to holding Ceuta. The reinforcements included seasoned soldiers and experienced officers who brought fresh energy and strategic insights to the defense of Ceuta. The new troops were quickly integrated into the existing garrison, enhancing the city's ability to repel future assaults. The Spanish command also implemented new defensive strategies, fortifying key positions and improving communication lines within the city. The arrival of reinforcements allowed the garrison to reinforce their defenses and prepare for future Moroccan attacks. The strengthened Spanish garrison soon demonstrated its increased capabilities. In several engagements following the arrival of reinforcements, the defenders were able to launch effective counterattacks against the Moroccan siege works. These actions disrupted the Moroccan operations and inflicted significant casualties, showcasing the renewed strength and resolve of the Spanish forces. The successful reinforcement of Ceuta highlighted the strategic importance of the city and Spain's determination to hold it. The successful reinforcement of Ceuta in 1695 marked a turning point in the siege. It demonstrated Spain's commitment to holding the city and its ability to support its overseas territories despite the formidable challenges posed by the Moroccan blockade. For the Moroccan forces, the arrival of reinforcements was a setback, forcing them to reassess their strategies and prepare for an even more protracted conflict. The siege continued, with both sides fully committed to their objectives and preparing for the long and arduous struggle that lay ahead. 1696 Moroccan blockade strengthens. By the year 1696, the Moroccan forces had reinforced their blockade around Ceuta, significantly intensifying the pressure on the besieged city. The blockade aimed to cut off all supply routes, both by land and sea, in an effort to starve the Spanish defenders into submission. This phase of the siege was marked by heightened efforts to isolate Ceuta and weaken its ability to resist. The Moroccan forces demonstrated their determination to capture the city by tightening the blockade. The Moroccan navy played a crucial role in strengthening the blockade. Ships were positioned to patrol the waters around Ceuta, intercepting any attempts to deliver supplies or reinforcements to the city. These naval operations were coordinated with the land forces, creating a comprehensive and formidable blockade that posed significant challenges for the Spanish. The Moroccan navy's presence was a constant threat, making it difficult for the Spanish to break through and deliver aid to the besieged garrison. The blockade also involved the establishment of more extensive siege lines and fortifications around the city. Moroccan engineers and laborers worked tirelessly to construct new trenches, artillery positions, and defensive structures. These efforts were aimed at tightening the noose around Ceuta, making it increasingly difficult for the Spanish garrison to receive any form of external support. The siege lines were reinforced, and additional fortifications were built to strengthen the Moroccan positions. Despite the intensified blockade, the Spanish defenders continued to find ways to resist. Smuggling operations and clandestine supply runs were organized to bring essential provisions into the city. The defenders also utilized their own naval resources to disrupt the Moroccan blockade, launching daring raids against the besieging forces. These efforts, while risky, were crucial in maintaining the morale and fighting capability of the garrison. The Spanish Navy played a vital role in these operations, demonstrating their resilience and resourcefulness. The strengthening of the Moroccan blockade in 1696 represented a significant escalation in the siege of Ceuta. It highlighted the determination of Sultan Moulay Ismael to capture the city at all costs. For the Spanish defenders, it was a period of increased hardship and struggle, testing their endurance and ingenuity. Both sides prepared for the long and grueling conflict that lay ahead. Knowing that the outcome of the siege would have far-reaching implications, the blockade was a critical component of the Moroccan strategy, aiming to weaken the Spanish defenses over time. 1697 siege works expand. In 1697, the Moroccan forces expanded their siege works around Ceuta, marking a significant escalation in their efforts to capture the city. The construction of additional trenches, artillery positions, and fortifications demonstrated the Moroccan commitment to the siege and their determination to breach the city's defenses. This phase of the siege saw increased activity and intense preparations for future assaults. The expansion of the siege works involved considerable resources and manpower. Moroccan engineers and laborers worked day and night to construct new defensive positions and improve existing ones. These efforts aimed to bring the Moroccan artillery closer to Ceuta's walls, allowing for more effective bombardments and creating new opportunities for infantry assault. The meticulous planning and execution of these works reflected the strategic importance of the siege for Morocco. The Spanish defenders, aware of the increasing threat posed by the expanded siege works, responded by fortifying their own positions. Engineers within Ceuta worked to strengthen the city's walls and repair any damage caused by previous bombardment. The defenders also constructed new defensive structures within the city, preparing for the inevitable assaults that the Moroccan forces were planning. The Spanish garrison's efforts to reinforce their defenses were critical in maintaining their hold on Ceuta. Throughout 1697, the expanded siege works led to a series of intense engagements between the Moroccan and Spanish forces. Skirmishes and raids became more frequent as both sides sought to disrupt each other's operations. The Spanish defenders launched several successful sorties, targeting key Moroccan positions and inflicting significant casualties. These actions demonstrated the resilience and resourcefulness of the garrison, highlighting their ability to adapt and respond to the evolving siege conditions. The year 1697 marked a critical phase in the siege of Ceuta. The expansion of the Moroccan siege works signaled a renewed determination to capture the city, while the Spanish defenders continued to adapt and resist. Both sides braced for the protracted conflict that lay ahead, knowing that the outcome would have a profound impact on the balance of power in the region. The expanded siege works of 1697 were a testament to the strategic planning and determination of the Moroccan forces, setting the stage for future assaults on the city's defenses. 1698 Coordinated Night Assault. In the year 1698, the Moroccan forces attempted a daring coordinated night assault on the walls of Ceuta. This bold move was part of their strategy to surprise the Spanish defenders and achieve a breakthrough. The night assault was meticulously planned, with Moroccan troops aiming to exploit the cover of darkness to breach the city's formidable defenses. The assault began in the dead of night, with Moroccan troops moving silently towards the walls of Ceuta. The darkness provided cover, making it difficult for the Spanish defenders to detect the approaching forces. The Moroccans aimed to scale the walls and create chaos within the city, hoping to overwhelm the garrison and force a swift surrender. The element of surprise was crucial to the success of this operation. As the Moroccan troops reached the walls, they began their assault with coordinated precision. Ladders were raised, and the attackers quickly climbed towards the ramparts. However, the Spanish defenders, despite the surprise attack, were well prepared. Alert sentries quickly raised the alarm, and the garrison responded with remarkable speed and efficiency. The defenders engaged the attackers in fierce hand-to-hand combat, determined to repel the assault. The battle that ensued was brutal and chaotic, with both sides fighting desperately in the darkness. The narrow confines of the walls and the limited visibility made the combat particularly intense. Despite their initial advantage, the Moroccan forces faced stiff resistance from the well-fortified Spanish defenders. The defenders, fighting for their survival, managed to hold their ground and repel the attackers. The failure of the coordinated night assault was a significant setback for the Moroccan forces. It demonstrated the resilience and preparedness of the Spanish garrison, who had successfully thwarted a major offensive. For the defenders, the victory was a morale boost, reinforcing their determination to hold Ceuta. The night assault of 1698 highlighted the high stakes and the intense nature of the siege of Ceuta, with both sides fully committed to their objectives. 1700 continued skirmishes. As the siege entered the new century, the year 1700 saw continued skirmishes between the Moroccan forces and the Spanish defenders. These skirmishes were a constant feature of the prolonged conflict, with both sides engaging in frequent and often brutal engagements. The ongoing skirmishes reflected the high stakes of the siege and the determination of both sides to achieve their objectives. The Moroccan forces, despite previous setbacks, remained committed to their goal of capturing Ceuta. They continued to probe the city's defenses, seeking opportunities to weaken the Spanish garrison and create openings for a successful assault. These skirmishes were often characterized by sudden and intense bursts of fighting, with Moroccan troops launching swift attacks and then retreating before the Spanish could mount a full-scale response. The hit-and-run tactics aimed to harass and demoralize the defenders. For the Spanish defenders, the continuous skirmishes were a test of their endurance and resilience. The garrison had to remain vigilant at all times, ready to respond to any threat. The defenders employed various tactics to counter the Moroccan attacks, including strengthening their fortifications, setting traps, and conducting counter-raids. The ability to adapt and respond quickly was crucial in maintaining their hold on Ceuta. The skirmishes required constant alertness and quick decision-making. The skirmishes of 1700 also had a significant impact on the morale of both sides. For the Moroccan forces, each engagement was an opportunity to demonstrate their resolve and commitment to the siege. Despite the difficulties and challenges, they continued to press their attacks, hoping to wear down the Spanish defenders. For the Spanish garrison, successfully repelling these attacks reinforced their determination to hold Ceuta and defend their territory. The skirmishes became a test of willpower and strategic ingenuity. As the year 1700 progressed, the continued skirmishes highlighted the protracted nature of the siege of Ceuta. Both sides were locked in a seemingly endless cycle of attacks and counterattacks, with no clear end in sight. The conflict tested the limits of their endurance and resources, with the outcome remaining uncertain. The skirmishes of this year were a testament to the intense and relentless nature of the siege, with both sides fully committed to their cause. The ongoing engagements kept the tension high and the stakes significant. 1701 Additional Moroccan troops. In the year 1701, Sultan Moulay Ismael of Morocco decided to reinforce the siege of Ceuta by sending additional troops and artillery. This decision reflected the Moroccan determination to capture the city and the recognition that more resources were needed to achieve this goal. The arrival of these reinforcements marked a significant escalation in the siege, as the Moroccan forces prepared for renewed and intensified efforts to breach Ceuta's defenses. The additional troops included experienced soldiers and new recruits, all eager to prove themselves in the ongoing conflict. The Moroccan army also received more artillery pieces, enhancing their ability to bombard the city's fortifications. These reinforcements were quickly integrated into the existing siege operations, bolstering the Moroccan presence around Ceuta and preparing for future assaults. The arrival of reinforcements demonstrated Sultan Moulay Ismael's commitment to capturing Ceuta. The arrival of the reinforcements was met with mixed reactions by the Spanish defenders. On one hand, it demonstrated the Moroccan commitment to the siege and the challenges that lay ahead. On the other hand, it reinforced the Spanish determination to hold their ground and defend Ceuta at all costs. The garrison, aware of the increased threat, redoubled their efforts to fortify their positions and prepare for the next phase of the siege. The defenders knew that they would need to remain vigilant and resourceful to withstand the renewed Moroccan efforts. The renewed Moroccan efforts included more frequent and intense bombardments of Ceuta's walls. The additional artillery allowed for sustained and heavy shelling, aimed at weakening the Spanish defenses and creating breaches for infantry assaults. The constant bombardment took a toll on the city's fortifications, forcing the defenders to focus on repairs and reinforcement efforts. The Moroccan forces aimed to exploit any weaknesses in the Spanish defenses. The year 1701 marked a turning point in the siege of Ceuta, with the arrival of additional Moroccan troops and artillery signaling a renewed and intensified phase of the conflict. The Moroccan forces, now bolstered and better equipped, prepared for new assaults on the city. For the Spanish defenders, the increased pressure tested their resolve and resourcefulness, as they braced for the challenges that lay ahead. The siege continued to evolve, with both sides fully committed to their objectives and prepared for the long and arduous struggle. 1702 Spanish Relief Fleet. In the year 1702, a Spanish relief fleet successfully broke through the Moroccan naval blockade around Ceuta, delivering much-needed supplies and reinforcements to the besieged city. This daring and successful operation was a significant morale boost for the Spanish defenders, who had been enduring the prolonged and intense siege. The arrival of the relief fleet marked a critical moment in the conflict, demonstrating Spain's commitment to holding Ceuta and its ability to support its overseas territories. The relief fleet, consisting of several ships loaded with troops, weapons, and provisions, navigated through the perilous waters patrolled by the Moroccan navy. The Moroccan blockade had been a formidable obstacle, aimed at cutting off all sea routes to Ceuta. Despite these challenges, the Spanish fleet managed to evade and engage the Moroccan ships, ultimately reaching the city and delivering the crucial supplies. The successful breakthrough was a testament to the skill and determination of the Spanish Navy. The arrival of the relief fleet was met with jubilation by the Spanish defenders. The additional troops and supplies significantly bolstered the garrison's capabilities, allowing them to reinforce their defenses and prepare for future Moroccan assault. The new soldiers brought fresh energy and strategic insights, enhancing the overall readiness and morale of the garrison. The provisions and weapons were crucial in sustaining the defenders and enabling them to maintain their resistance. For the Moroccan forces, the success of the Spanish relief fleet was a significant setback. The blockade, which had been a critical part of their strategy to isolate and weaken Ceuta, had been breached. This development forced the Moroccan commanders to reassess their tactics and consider new strategies to achieve their objectives. The setback also highlighted the resilience and resourcefulness of the Spanish defenders, who had managed to maintain their hold on Ceuta despite the prolonged siege. The year 1702 and the successful arrival of the Spanish relief fleet underscored the high stakes and the dynamic nature of the siege of Ceuta. It demonstrated the ongoing commitment of both sides to their respective goals and the lengths they were willing to go to achieve them. The siege continued, with the Spanish defenders now better equipped and more determined, and the Moroccan forces preparing for the next phase of the conflict. The successful relief operation was a turning point, providing a boost to the Spanish defense and a challenge to the Moroccan siege efforts. 1704 War of the Spanish Succession. In 1704, the War of the Spanish Succession broke out in Europe, significantly impacting the siege of Ceuta. This major conflict, involving several European powers, diverted Spain's attention and resources away from the siege, affecting the defense of Ceuta. The war created a complex and challenging situation for the Spanish garrison, which now had to contend with reduced support and increased pressures from the Moroccan forces. The outbreak of the War of the Spanish Succession saw Spain embroiled in a broader conflict, with resources and military efforts being redirected to various fronts in Europe. This diversion of resources had a direct impact on the siege of Ceuta, as the Spanish garrison faced reduced reinforcements and supplies. The Moroccan forces, aware of Spain's predicament, intensified their efforts to capture the city, hoping to exploit the situation to their advantage. The war added a new layer of complexity to the already challenging siege. Despite the challenges posed by the war, the Spanish defenders of Ceuta remained determined to hold their ground. The garrison, now facing a more precarious situation, adapted their strategies to make the most of their available resources. The defenders focused on fortifying their positions, conserving supplies, and maintaining high morale despite the uncertainties of the broader conflict. The Spanish garrison's resilience and adaptability were crucial in sustaining the defense of Ceuta. The Moroccan forces, recognizing the opportunity presented by Spain's involvement in the War of the Spanish Succession, launched several coordinated assaults on Ceuta. These attacks aimed to capitalize on the perceived weakening of the Spanish defenses and force a breakthrough. The Moroccan commanders hoped that the increased pressure and the diversion of Spanish resources would lead to the city's eventual surrender. The Moroccan forces were determined to take advantage of the situation and achieve their objective of capturing Ceuta. The year 1704 and the War of the Spanish Succession highlighted the interconnected nature of European and North African conflicts during this period. The impact of the broader war on the siege of Ceuta underscored the complexities faced by the Spanish defenders and the strategic calculations of the Moroccan forces. Despite the challenges, the siege continued, with both sides fully committed to their objectives and adapting to the evolving circumstances. The conflict in Europe had a significant influence on the dynamics of the siege, testing the resilience and determination of both the Spanish garrison and the Moroccan besiegers. 1705 Moroccan forces capture outlying forts. In 1705, the Moroccan forces achieved a significant tactical victory by capturing several outlying defensive positions near Ceuta. These forts, which were crucial to the overall defense of the city, fell to the Moroccan troops after a series of coordinated assaults. The capture of these positions marked a notable development in the siege, demonstrating the effectiveness of the Moroccan strategy and increasing the pressure on the Spanish defenders. The Moroccan forces, having learned from previous engagements, launched well-planned and executed attacks on the outlying forts. These positions were strategically important, as they provided early warning and additional defensive layers for Ceuta. By capturing these forts, the Moroccan troops aimed to isolate the city further and create more opportunities for a successful assault on the main fortifications. The Moroccan commanders' strategic planning and execution were evident in these successful operations. The fall of the outlying forts was a significant blow to the Spanish defenders. The loss of these positions meant that the garrison had to contend with a more direct and immediate threat from the Moroccan forces. The defenders now faced increased challenges in maintaining their defensive perimeter and protecting the city from further assaults. The capture of the forts also had a psychological impact, testing the resolve and morale of the garrison. The defenders knew that the loss of these key positions made their task of holding Ceuta even more difficult. Despite the setback, the Spanish defenders of Ceuta remained determined to hold their ground. The garrison quickly adapted to the new situation, reinforcing the remaining defensive positions and preparing for the next phase of the siege. The loss of the outlying forts forced the defenders to adopt new strategies, focusing on maximizing their resources and maintaining high alertness. The Spanish garrison's resilience and adaptability were crucial in sustaining the defense of the city. The year 1705 and the capture of the outlying forts highlighted the evolving nature of the siege of Ceuta. The Moroccan forces demonstrated their tactical prowess and determination, while the Spanish defenders continued to adapt and resist. The conflict entered a new phase, with both sides preparing for the prolonged and intense struggle that lay ahead. The capture of the outlying forts was a significant development, increasing the pressure on the Spanish defenders and setting the stage for future assaults on the city's main fortifications. 1707 Major Assault repelled. In 1707, the Moroccan forces launched a major assault on the walls of Ceuta, hoping to achieve a decisive breakthrough. This assault was the result of months of preparation and strategic planning, aiming to exploit perceived weaknesses in the Spanish defenses. The attack was a significant escalation in the siege, marking one of the most intense and critical engagements of the conflict. The assault began with a massive artillery bombardment, intended to weaken the Spanish fortifications and create breaches in the walls. The Moroccan artillery, positioned strategically around the city, unleashed a relentless barrage, aiming to create openings for the infantry to exploit. The intensity and scale of the bombardment reflected the high stakes of the offensive and the determination of the Moroccan forces to succeed. The Moroccan artillery played a crucial role in this phase, providing the necessary firepower to support the infantry assault. Following the artillery barrage, Moroccan infantry launched a coordinated assault on the breached sections of the walls. The attackers moved swiftly and with precision, aiming to penetrate the city's defenses and engage the Spanish troops in close combat. The battle that ensued was fierce and brutal, with both sides fighting desperately for control of the breaches. The outcome of the offensive hinged on the ability of the Moroccan forces to overwhelm the defenders. Despite the intensity of the Moroccan assault, the Spanish defenders managed to repel the attackers. The well-fortified positions and the determination of the garrison played a crucial role in holding the line. The defenders' ability to withstand the major assault was a testament to their resilience and strategic planning. The failure of the attack was a significant setback for the Moroccan forces, forcing them to reassess their strategies and prepare for future assaults. The repelling of the major assault in 1707 marked a turning point in the siege of Ceuta. It demonstrated the formidable nature of the Spanish defenses and the challenges that the Moroccan forces faced in their efforts to capture the city. For the Spanish defenders, the victory was a morale boost, reinforcing their determination to hold Ceuta. The siege continued, with both sides preparing for the next phase of the conflict, knowing that the outcome remained uncertain and the stakes were incredibly high. 1709 Spanish reinforcements and supplies. In the year 1709, the Spanish garrison in Ceuta received a substantial boost in the form of reinforcements and supplies from mainland Spain. This timely support was crucial in sustaining the defense of the besieged city, which had been under constant pressure from the Moroccan forces. The arrival of additional troops and provisions marked a significant moment in the siege, enhancing the garrison's ability to resist and maintain their hold on Ceuta. The reinforcements included experienced soldiers who were quickly integrated into the existing defensive units. These troops brought fresh energy and new strategic insights, bolstering the garrison's overall capabilities. The arrival of additional supplies, including weapons, ammunition, and food, also played a critical role in sustaining the defenders. These provisions were essential in ensuring that the garrison could continue to operate effectively and withstand the prolonged siege. The successful delivery of reinforcements and supplies was a complex and challenging operation. The Moroccan blockade had made it difficult for any support to reach Ceuta, requiring careful planning and coordination by the Spanish command. The breakthrough was achieved through a combination of naval maneuvers and strategic timing, highlighting the determination and resourcefulness of the Spanish efforts to support their besieged garrison. The arrival of reinforcements and supplies had a significant impact on the morale of the Spanish defenders. It demonstrated that they were not alone in their struggle and that mainland Spain was committed to supporting their efforts. The boost in morale translated into increased determination and resilience as the garrison prepared to continue their defense against the Moroccan forces. The arrival of additional support was a morale booster, reinforcing the defenders' resolve to hold Ceuta. The year 1709 marked a pivotal moment in the siege of Ceuta. The successful delivery of reinforcements and supplies underscored the strategic importance of the city and the lengths to which Spain was willing to go to defend it. For the Moroccan forces, the arrival of additional Spanish support was a setback, forcing them to reassess their strategies and prepare for the continued struggle. The siege remained intense, with both sides fully committed to their objectives and the conflict showing no signs of abating. 1710 Moroccan breach attempt. In the year 1710, the Moroccan forces launched a significant attempt to breach the northern wall of Ceuta. This operation was part of their ongoing efforts to capture the city and was marked by intense planning and preparation. The breach attempt represented one of the most critical phases of the siege, as the Moroccan forces aimed to exploit any weaknesses in the Spanish defenses and achieve a decisive breakthrough. The breach attempt began with a concentrated artillery bombardment aimed at weakening a specific section of the northern wall. The Moroccan artillery pounded the targeted area, creating a breach that the infantry could exploit. Following the bombardment, Moroccan troops launched a coordinated assault, moving swiftly to penetrate the breach and enter the city. The Moroccan forces hoped that this concentrated effort would lead to a successful breach. The Spanish defenders, aware of the imminent threat, had prepared extensively for such an attack. The garrison had reinforced the northern wall and positioned troops strategically to respond to any breach attempt. As the Moroccan forces advanced, the defenders engaged them in fierce combat, utilizing their fortified positions and strategic advantages. The battle was intense, with both sides fighting desperately to control the breach. Despite the concentrated efforts of the Moroccan troops, the Spanish defenders managed to repel the assault. The well-coordinated defense and the resilience of the garrison played a crucial role in holding the line. The defenders used various tactics, including counterattacks and strategic use of artillery, to push back the attackers and seal the breach. The failure of the breach attempt was a significant setback for the Moroccan forces. The breach attempt of 1710 underscored the challenges faced by the Moroccan forces in their efforts to capture Ceuta. It demonstrated the formidable nature of the Spanish defenses and the determination of the garrison to hold their ground. For the Spanish defenders, the successful repelling of the breach attempt was a morale boost, reinforcing their commitment to defending the city. The siege continued, with both sides preparing for the next phase of the conflict, knowing that the outcome remained uncertain and the stakes were incredibly high. 1712 Sultan Moulay Ismael overseas operations. In the year 1712, Sultan Moulay Ismael of Morocco personally oversaw the siege operations around Ceuta. This direct involvement by the Sultan underscored the importance of the siege to the Moroccan campaign and demonstrated his commitment to capturing the city. Moulay Ismael's presence brought renewed energy and strategic direction to the Moroccan efforts, marking a significant development in the protracted conflict. The Sultan's arrival at the siege site was accompanied by a substantial increase in resources and manpower. Moulay Ismael brought additional troops and artillery, reinforcing the Moroccan forces and boosting their capabilities. His presence also had a significant impact on the morale of the Moroccan troops, who were inspired by their leader's commitment and determination. The Sultan's direct oversight was aimed at intensifying the siege and finding new ways to breach Ceuta's defenses. Under Moulay Ismael's direction, the Moroccan forces implemented several new strategies and tactics. The Sultan emphasized the importance of coordination and meticulous planning, ensuring that all siege operations were carried out with precision. His leadership brought a renewed focus on weakening the Spanish defenses through sustained bombardments and coordinated assaults. The Sultan's strategic insights and experience played a crucial role in shaping the Moroccan campaign. The Spanish defenders, aware of the Sultan's presence, prepared for an intensified phase of the siege. The garrison reinforced key positions and implemented new defensive measures to counter the increased pressure from the Moroccan forces. The defenders understood that the stakes had been raised and that they were facing a more determined and strategically coordinated enemy. The presence of Moulay Ismael added a new layer of complexity to the already challenging siege. The year 1712 and the direct involvement of Sultan Moulay Ismael marked a critical phase in the siege of Ceuta. The Sultan's leadership brought renewed energy and strategic direction to the Moroccan efforts, intensifying the conflict. For the Spanish defenders, it was a period of heightened vigilance and preparation, as they braced for the intensified assaults. The siege continued, with both sides fully committed to their objectives and the outcome remaining uncertain. 1714 Moroccan capture of Supply Fort. In the year 1714, the Moroccan forces achieved a significant tactical victory by capturing a key supply fort outside Ceuta. This fort, which had been crucial to the supply and reinforcement efforts of the Spanish garrison, fell to the Moroccan troops after a determined and coordinated assault. The capture of the supply fort marked a notable development in the siege, increasing the pressure on the Spanish defenders and disrupting their logistical support. The Moroccan forces, having identified the strategic importance of the supply fort, launched a well-planned attack. The assault began with a concentrated artillery bombardment, aimed at weakening the fort's defenses. Following the bombardment, Moroccan infantry moved swiftly to penetrate the fort's defenses and engage the Spanish troops stationed there. The battle was intense, with both sides fighting fiercely for control of the vital position. The fall of the supply fort was a significant blow to the Spanish defenders. The loss of this position disrupted their supply lines, making it more difficult to receive reinforcements and provisions. The fort had been a critical component of the overall defense strategy, providing a base for operations and a point of support for the garrison. Its capture by the Moroccan forces forced the Spanish to adapt their strategies and find new ways to sustain their defense. Despite the setback, the Spanish garrison remained determined to hold Ceuta. The defenders quickly adapted to the new situation, focusing on maximizing their remaining resources and fortifying their positions. The loss of the supply fort forced the garrison to become more self-reliant, relying on internal supplies and innovative strategies to maintain their defenses. The determination and resilience of the Spanish troops were crucial in sustaining the defense of the city. The year 1714 and the capture of the supply fort highlighted the dynamic and evolving nature of the siege of Ceuta. The Moroccan forces demonstrated their tactical capabilities and determination, while the Spanish defenders continued to adapt and resist. The conflict entered a new phase, with both sides preparing for the prolonged and intense struggle that lay ahead. The siege remained a test of endurance and resourcefulness, with the outcome still uncertain. 1716 Successful Spanish sortie. In the year 1716, the Spanish defenders of Ceuta launched a successful sortie against the Moroccan siege works. This daring and strategic operation was aimed at disrupting the Moroccan efforts and inflicting significant damage on their siege positions. The sortie represented a proactive move by the Spanish garrison, demonstrating their determination to take the fight to the besiegers and disrupt their operations. The sortie was meticulously planned and executed with precision. Spanish troops, under the cover of darkness, moved out of the city's fortifications and launched a surprise attack on the Moroccan siege works. The element of surprise was crucial, allowing the Spanish forces to achieve maximum impact before the Moroccan troops could mount an effective response. The attackers targeted key positions, including artillery emplacements and supply depots. The Spanish sortie was highly effective, causing significant disruption and damage to the Moroccan siege works. The attackers managed to destroy several artillery positions and inflict heavy casualties on the Moroccan troops. The successful operation forced the Moroccan forces to temporarily halt their siege activities and focus on rebuilding their positions and recovering from the attack. The sortie demonstrated the resilience and tactical capabilities of the Spanish defenders. The success of the sortie had a significant impact on the morale of the Spanish garrison. It reinforced their confidence and determination, showing that they could effectively challenge the besieging forces. The operation also served as a reminder to the Moroccan troops that the defenders were capable of launching counterattacks and disrupting their efforts. The sortie underscored the dynamic and unpredictable nature of the siege. The year 1716 and the successful Spanish sortie highlighted the ongoing intensity and complexity of the siege of Ceuta. The proactive and daring move by the Spanish defenders demonstrated their resilience and tactical ingenuity. For the Moroccan forces, the setback forced them to reassess their strategies and continue their efforts with renewed determination. The siege continued, with both sides fully committed to their objectives and the outcome remaining uncertain. 1719 Major Moroccan Offensive. In the year 1719, the Moroccan forces launched a major offensive against the Spanish defenders of Ceuta. This offensive was a culmination of extensive planning and preparation, aimed at achieving a decisive breakthrough in the protracted siege. The Moroccan troops, bolstered by reinforcements and new strategies, sought to capitalize on their efforts and capture the city, which had resisted their assaults for many years. The major offensive began with a massive artillery bombardment, targeting key sections of Ceuta's walls and fortifications. The Moroccan artillery, positioned strategically around the city, unleashed a relentless barrage, aiming to create breaches and weaken the Spanish defenses. The intensity and scale of the bombardment reflected the high stakes of the offensive and the determination of the Moroccan forces to succeed. Following the artillery barrage, Moroccan infantry launched a coordinated assault on the breached sections of the walls. The attackers moved swiftly and with precision, aiming to penetrate the city's defenses and engage the Spanish troops in close combat. The battle that ensued was fierce and brutal, with both sides fighting desperately for control of the breaches. The outcome of the offensive hinged on the ability of the Moroccan forces to overwhelm the defenders. Despite the intensity of the Moroccan offensive, the Spanish defenders managed to repel the assault. The well-fortified positions and the determination of the garrison played a crucial role in holding the line. The defenders' ability to withstand the major assault was a testament to their resilience and strategic planning. The failure of the offensive was a significant setback for the Moroccan forces, forcing them to reassess their strategies. The major offensive of 1719 underscored the formidable nature of the Spanish defenses and the resilience of the garrison. It demonstrated the challenges faced by the Moroccan forces in their efforts to capture Ceuta and the determination of the Spanish defenders to hold their ground. The siege continued, with both sides fully committed to their objectives and preparing for the next phase of the conflict. The outcome remained uncertain, with the stakes higher than ever. 1720 Internal strife in Morocco. In the year 1720, internal strife within Morocco significantly impacted the ongoing siege of Ceuta. The internal conflicts, including revolts and power struggles, weakened Sultan Moulay Ismael's ability to sustain the siege operations. This period of internal turmoil created challenges for the Moroccan forces, affecting their ability to coordinate and maintain pressure on the Spanish defenders of Ceuta. The internal strife in Morocco involved various factions and regional leaders vying for power and influence. These conflicts diverted attention and resources away from the siege, forcing the Sultan to address the issues within his own kingdom. The internal turmoil led to a decrease in the reinforcements and supplies reaching the siege lines, weakening the Moroccan efforts to capture Ceuta. The Spanish defenders, aware of the internal strife within Morocco, took advantage of the situation to strengthen their own positions. The garrison focused on reinforcing their fortifications and improving their defensive strategies, knowing that the Moroccan forces were facing challenges of their own. The internal conflicts in Morocco provided the defenders with a much-needed respite, allowing them to regroup and prepare for future assaults. Despite the internal strife, the Moroccan forces continued to maintain the siege, although with reduced intensity. The commanders on the ground had to adapt to the new realities, focusing on sustaining their positions and maintaining pressure on Ceuta with limited resources. The period of internal turmoil forced the Moroccan forces to adopt a more defensive posture, waiting for the situation within Morocco to stabilize. The year 1720 and the internal strife in Morocco highlighted the complex dynamics of the siege of Ceuta. The internal conflicts within Morocco had a significant impact on the siege operations, affecting the ability of the Moroccan forces to sustain their efforts. For the Spanish defenders, it was a period of relative relief, allowing them to strengthen their positions and prepare for the next phase of the conflict. The siege continued, with both sides adapting to the evolving circumstances and the outcome remaining uncertain. 1723 Sporadic peace negotiations. In the year 1723, sporadic peace negotiations took place between the Moroccan forces and the Spanish defenders of Ceuta. These negotiations were an attempt to find a resolution to the prolonged and grueling siege that had lasted for many years. The talks reflected the desire of both sides to explore possibilities for ending the conflict, although no lasting agreement was reached. The peace negotiations were initiated by intermediaries who sought to facilitate dialogue between the two sides. The discussions focused on various proposals, including the possibility of a truce, the exchange of prisoners, and terms for the potential withdrawal of Moroccan forces. The negotiations were marked by cautious optimism, as both sides recognized the high costs and challenges of continuing the siege. Despite the initial willingness to engage in dialogue, the negotiations faced significant obstacles. The Moroccan forces, led by Sultan Moulay Ismael, remained committed to their goal of capturing Ceuta, making it difficult to reach a compromise. On the other hand, the Spanish defenders were determined to maintain their hold on the city, which was of strategic importance to Spain. The differing objectives and lack of trust between the two sides hindered progress. The peace negotiations also faced challenges from external factors, including political and military developments in the region. The broader context of the conflict, including alliances and rivalries, influenced the willingness of both sides to make concessions. The negotiations were further complicated by internal pressures within both Morocco and Spain, which affected the decision-making processes of their respective leaders. The year 1723 and the sporadic peace negotiations highlighted the complexities of finding a resolution to the siege of Ceuta. Despite the challenges, the talks demonstrated a recognition of the high costs and the desire to explore possibilities for ending the conflict. Although no lasting agreement was reached, the negotiations provided a glimpse of hope for a potential resolution in the future. The siege continued, with both sides remaining committed to their objectives and preparing for the next phase of the conflict. 1725 Spanish sortie disrupts Moroccan supplies. In the year 1725, the Spanish defenders of Ceuta launched another successful sortie, targeting the Moroccan supply lines. This daring operation aimed to disrupt the flow of supplies and reinforcements to the besieging Moroccan forces, weakening their ability to sustain the siege. The sortie was a strategic move by the Spanish garrison, demonstrating their resilience and tactical ingenuity. The sortie was meticulously planned and executed under the cover of darkness. Spanish troops moved out of the city and launched a surprise attack on the Moroccan supply convoys and depots. The element of surprise allowed the Spanish forces to achieve maximum impact before the Moroccan troops could mount an effective response. The attackers targeted key supply routes, destroying provisions and capturing valuable resources. The successful sortie had a significant impact on the Moroccan siege operations. The disruption of their supply lines forced the Moroccan forces to halt their siege activities temporarily and focus on re-establishing their logistical support. The loss of supplies and resources weakened the Moroccan efforts, creating challenges in maintaining their positions and planning future assaults on Ceuta. The impact of the sortie was also felt in the morale of both sides. For the Spanish defenders, the success of the operation was a morale boost, reinforcing their confidence and determination. It demonstrated their ability to take proactive measures and challenge the besieging forces. For the Moroccan troops, the setback forced them to reassess their strategies and find new ways to sustain their siege operations. The year 1725 and the successful Spanish sortie highlighted the dynamic and evolving nature of the siege of Ceuta. The proactive and daring move by the Spanish defenders demonstrated their resilience and tactical ingenuity. For the Moroccan forces, the disruption of their supply lines was a significant challenge, forcing them to adapt and continue their efforts with renewed determination. The siege continued, with both sides fully committed to their objectives and the outcome remaining uncertain. 1727 siege ends. In the year 1727, the protracted siege of Ceuta finally came to an end. After 33 years of intense and grueling conflict, the Moroccan forces withdrew from the siege, marking the conclusion of one of the longest sieges in history. The end of the siege was a significant moment for both the Moroccan and Spanish forces, bringing an end to decades of relentless struggle and conflict. The decision to end the siege was influenced by a combination of factors. Internal issues within Morocco, including revolts and power struggles, weakened Sultan Moulay Ismael's ability to sustain the siege operation. The prolonged conflict had also taken a toll on the Moroccan forces, straining their resources and manpower. These challenges, combined with the resilience and determination of the Spanish defenders, led to the eventual withdrawal of the Moroccan troops. For the Spanish defenders, the end of the siege was a moment of relief and victory. The garrison, which had endured years of relentless pressure and hardship, successfully held their ground and defended Ceuta. The resilience and strategic ingenuity of the Spanish forces played a crucial role in their ability to withstand the prolonged siege. The end of the conflict was a testament to their determination and resourcefulness. The aftermath of the siege had significant implications for both Morocco and Spain. For Morocco, the withdrawal marked a setback in their territorial ambitions and highlighted the challenges of sustaining long-term siege operations. The internal issues that had plagued Morocco during the siege also required attention and resolution. For Spain, the successful defense of Ceuta reinforced their strategic presence in North Africa and demonstrated their ability to support and defend their overseas territories. The year 1727 and the end of the siege of Ceuta marked the conclusion of a historic and grueling conflict. The siege tested the limits of endurance, resourcefulness, and determination on both sides. The end of the conflict brought a sense of closure and highlighted the high stakes and significant challenges of siege warfare. The legacy of the siege of Ceuta would continue to be remembered as a testament to the resilience and strategic ingenuity of those involved. Thank you for watching this detailed exploration of the siege of Ceuta. We hope you found the story of this historic conflict as captivating as we did. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more history documentaries. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay tuned for more intriguing stories from the past on our channel.